thing sucks. Never listen to the radio in this car. Turn it on, it's just blasting.
What time is it? Where are we?
We're here. We made it. 6:28. We're at the gym, dude.
What's it called?
Double Edge Fitness. Already sweated my ass off in the sauna. Froze my ass off in the ice bath. Check. Can you hear me? What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. And today we're gonna do something a little bit different. It's story time today. And the story is on how I got this check from this house right here. But more importantly, and if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna go into probably the most important lesson in real estate that I've learned, and I'm still convinced that it's the most important lesson that you can learn in real estate, probably the most profitable lesson. Make sure to smash that like button for us, help us spread this content to anyone else on YouTube that's interested in real estate and help us grow our channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, stay up to date with all the content that we're dropping on all of our projects, and then some one-off stuff like this episode. All right, so we're gonna film the rest of the episode in this car because we don't want to be fucking standing in front of this person's house because people that I don't know still live there. Again, how I got this check, both Wes and I, my partner, are licensed real estate agents, and I actually represented a buyer on this house. So that's not the lesson, that's not the story. So we'll go into a little bit on the details on this deal, how I got the deal and all that, and then also the lesson that I learned from this deal. Okay, so first of all, why are both of us licensed? I see a lot of stuff online that there's a lot of extra liability if you're licensed when you're investing in real estate. There is some extra liability, but there's so much crossover business between the investment firm and being a licensed real estate agent that it doesn't make sense not to be licensed, really. Obviously, we produce our own marketing to buy houses, flips, rentals, the development stuff, all that stuff. But a lot of the leads that we get are retail leads. They're way better off as listings rather than flips. The houses are in nice shape. The sellers aren't very motivated. They're not willing to take a discount. They basically want full retail, and for whatever reason, they're calling us. It's good to be licensed to try to convert those leads into listings, and also so we can list our own inventory. I haven't listed any of our stuff personally, but Wes has been the listing agent on almost everything that we have flipped, aside from the deals that agents bring to us. Then we let them list it as a thank you. Another reason to be licensed as an investor is to get MLS access, so we can have all the up-to-date data when we're comping properties. A lot of people are using Zillow and Redfin and all that type of stuff, but it's much better to have real MLS access, which you can get by being an agent, or if you're not licensed, you can get it by being an agent's assistant usually. Another perk of being licensed is that I can actually offer as a buyer's agent on behalf of other buyers in town. So the big flipping operations around here, those guys can buy a lot tighter than we can. So we actually just stopped trying to buy stuff off of the MLS that comes up listed. We're only buying off-market stuff, but I still look several times a day. So I know what they're looking for. They're looking for the same stuff that we're looking for. I can easily determine what a good deal might look like. I know that they're going to be able to pay a lot more than we can. So instead of just offering for us and then getting beat by them anyway, I'll give them a heads up and say, hey, this looks like a deal. This is what I think it's worth, yada, yada, yada. And they'll say, okay, offer this much. And now I submit their offer as the buyer's agent. So if we close those deals, now we're able to make a few $1,000s in commission and contribute it back to the business on deals that we would have made zero on when we lost to the same people anyway.
Real estate hack.
Real estate hack 101. So how I actually got this deal. So this is my first retail transaction. I've offered for other flippers before, but they're all cash offers, and it's not like an owner occupant buying a house. Backstory on how I got this one. My new homie Rich just cold called our website, the investment firm's website, and he's kind of new in town, and he was just looking for net investors to network and just kind of see what was going on. So I took his call, called him back, and super cool guy. We ended up meeting up a couple times. I introduced him to Wes. He's got a great W-2, from the Bay Area, tech guy. I figured there could be some sort of partnership in the making there, whether he's a private lender for us or partnering on like a bigger multifamily deal, something like that. Just because he's new, you know, I always give people the time of day. You know, it's never like like, oh, just write them off because you never know who knows who. During these couple conversations that I had with him, I mentioned, you know, hey, I'm a licensed agent, so if you see something on the MLS that you want to buy, let me know and I can offer on it for you. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. I kind of directed him towards like looking for a house that might be not super fucked up, but not retail ready. And that's something that he might be able to get a deal on the MLS. You know, he would be buying it for himself as an investment and a personal residence. So it's a house that you could live in and also fix it up and add some value over time. Whereas if we offered on a similar house, we would get beat out by someone who's doing just that. So fast forward a couple weeks later, he randomly, him and his girlfriend, that, you know, they decided that they wanted to buy a house here to live in, and they randomly stumbled upon this house. I guess they were just driving down the street on the weekend and there was an open house going on. The house had just been listed, I think that day or the day before. They walked through it, they liked it, it fit their criteria, they love the neighborhood here in Old Southwest. The house needed a roof, but it has good bones. The kitchen is kind of messed up, so it could use remodeling. Called me up and said, hey, let's put in an offer on this thing. And I said, cool, let's do it. The lucky offer on this one. So the market's crazy hot right now. It's super hard to be a buyer. We got lucky in more ways than one on this. First, there was only one other offer, probably because the seller needed a 60-day rent back. So that's why, like I said, they're still in the property. The old owners are still living there. Not an ideal situation when you're trying to own or occupy a property. You don't want to wait 2 months to move into your own house. So the seller needed that. And they listed like 2 days after the first of the year when basically no one's looking for houses. Everyone's still in holiday mode. So we came in at full asking price, $507. Rent back was no issue for Rich because they would have had to break their lease with the landlord anyway. So that worked out. And they ended up accepting our offer, and then the process began. So as far as the process goes, it was super easy. You know, Wes always laughs at me because I always kind of stumble my way into situations like that. Like, it's super hard for a buyer to buy a house right now, and they just call me up and it's like, I didn't even have to show them the house, or, you know, they went to their own open house and I just submitted the offer and they accepted it. The first house that we even offered on sounds like too good to be true. Process was pretty basic. You know, went through the home inspection. Inspection came back super clean. We already knew that it needed a roof, so that came up. A couple other minor little things, but all in all, super clean. So after the inspections, we went back to the seller, tried to beat him up on price a little bit. Didn't want to be too aggressive because of how the market is. We didn't want him to go back on market. So got him a little price reduction to $500 even. Appraisal happened for his lender. The appraisal came back at $510, I think. So again, super rare to even get something in contract under appraised value right now. So everyone was stoked on that. And just Rich as a buyer, I knew there'd be no problem with lending. You know, he was 20% down, has a great W-2. I knew there'd be no issues there. So everything was super smooth throughout closing. Pretty easy deal in the grand scheme of things. Other than that, there was nothing really going on with the process. Closed it, got the rent back agreement in place. Rich is the new owner of this house, and now I made the commission that we just showed you guys. The commission was actually $12,500, but then your broker takes quite a bit depending on what brokerage you're at. So that was net to me, the $7,700. So yeah, I look at that as like, you know, I took that call and I made $7,700 after a little bit more work, and that's probably the first of many deals that we're gonna do with Rich. The lesson of the day here, I've already said it on 3 or 4 videos, and in the 6th that we even have on this channel, it's that relationships matter. In real estate, it's all about relationships. There's a ton of different ways to make them. The entire business, whether you're on the retail side or the investment side, is all relationship based. Just for example, the last 2 videos that we posted, Alan, that deal came from an agent, and that's a relationship that we have with the agent. Rondell, that deal came from a wholesaler, relationship that we have with them. The next one that we're going to post after this, Calusa, that deal came from an agent, same type of thing. So just on those 3 deals, we've made over $150,000 in net profit from 3 deals that are all from relationships. So again, to recap, you know, Rich called me. I took the time to take his call, took the time to go to lunch with him once, took the time to introduce him to Wes, and just tried to add value in any way that I could. Any questions that he had about investing in real estate, I was there to answer for him. You know, in a couple weeks, going from a cold call, building that relationship, fast forward a few weeks, meet with him a few times, do this deal, and now I have $7,700 in my pocket just from cultivating a relationship like that over a short amount of time. In addition to this deal, you know, like I said, I'm sure there's going to be many more opportunities over the coming years to work with Rich on different stuff. And he's already introduced me to 2 people from the tech space that are potential lenders that have, you know, what I call big money, that, you know, they can lend hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time as a private lender for some of our other projects. So we haven't worked with them yet, but that just shows you the power. It's like, this one relationship is great, but you never know who knows who. So last thing, how can you implement this lesson? First of all, add value always. Don't be just hitting people up trying to build relationships and take. Always come from a place of value and a place of giving. That's like number 1 thing. Number 2, if you're trying to get into real estate investing, go to meetups. You can go on meetup.com and search, you know, real estate wherever you're at. Bigger Pockets has a section on meetups. That's where I met my first people that I did my first few deals with. I hold a meetup personally once a month for that reason. You know, I meet money partners there, I meet wholesalers there, you meet agents there, and just build relationship. I give out the information that I have for free once a month, and it reciprocates by a lot. You know, like I said, you know, we made $150,000 from 3 deals from relationships. So every single deal that we're doing from just giving out time is like an infinite ROI. Because we're not spending any money to get the deal. Number 3, relationships take time to build. So it's not something that, you know, you spend money on and you get an instant return. It's just a long game. It's how long do you want to last in the business. It's having a good reputation. It's building these relationships over years, and then you never know what's going to come up down the road. Sometimes they happen quick like this one, and sometimes, you know, I work with people that are trying to do their first deals for literally over a year. Good example, we just got one in contract yesterday. I signed the assignment. A couple of wholesalers that I met at my meetup, I work with them literally every month. You know, they're sending me stuff. They've never got anything under contract. They've never even been close, you know, just helping them out as I can. And then boom, they stumble into a great deal, and that one's looking like another $50,000 flip for us that they're bringing to us. So it's like, it feels like you're spinning the wheels sometimes when you're helping people and you're not getting anything for it, but then boom, all of a sudden they bring you a deal, and then it's a great profit for the company. That about wraps it up for this episode. Remember, relationships are everything in real estate and in other areas of life too, but definitely in real estate. So make sure to smash that like button, help us out with the YouTube algorithm, help us grow the channel, spread this content to anyone that's interested in real estate investing, and make sure to hit subscribe if you're new here. Stay up to date with all the content that we're dropping, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Good audio right at the end.